Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Fable 3. Looks like we're live. Ready to get started, shall we? Anyway. So, as the thumbnail might indicate, I don't know if anybody saw Thomas Massey's great speech today on the House floor. Basically did a 5-minute, very short... Oh, gosh, excuse me. I'm going to be yawning a lot tonight. long day already. But Thomas Massey did basically a very short 5-minute brief outline of the USS Liberty incident, and it was really good. It was
whatever you can spare.
It was about as good as one could possibly expect for such a truncated version of the story. So, excellent, absolutely excellent. All right, I'm gonna do some looking around. I did see if there's more quests. Basically, I did off stream. I did some house shopping and bought basically all of the real estate, or nearly all the real estate in right now. So, and none of the houses are bigger than the one I actually already have. So, there's that.
Thanks. Bring him in and I'll lock him up.
There's another criminal scum. Let's get him. Excuse me. Hey.
Ah, okay, you got me, bugger.
Come here.
Have you? Heck, why not?
Come there. Come on. We're going to jail. Taking you in. I don't know what he did, but he probably deserves it.
Come on now, let's be reasonable.
I'm gonna shoot you. Hey, Grace. I'm doing pretty well. There we go.
You can take me back, but no jail can hold me. I'll be out again in a week. Just you wait and see.
Isn't this the same guy that I have caught before?
A notorious greaser. Not sure why they call him that, really, but he's a nasty bugger, I assure you.
Thanks for this, you're a true hero. Here's your reward.
Thanks. No reward. Okay, then. Thanks, I guess. Alright, let's see where else there is to go and what else there is to do, huh? Mist Peak Valley. Tale of Inspiration now. Dweller Camp, nothing. Mercenary Camp, nothing. Silver Pines. No, nothing. Driftwood. Ooh, I should go check this out at the very least. It seems they've made a bit of a home on some of these islands. That's quite cool. There's no quests here, but it's worth looking at. Vacant, not for sale. Yeah, let's go check it out. Why not? Anyway, so yeah, the Massey's speech about the USS Liberty incident was quite good. It was like I said, it was the only problem. Yeah, hey Imp Simp. Yeah, Grace is here, and I guess you can't see her. Darn, that is very annoying that this is such a persistent problem. I know there is a little feedback button, I just realized, on the actual chat bar, on the sidebar, the chat sidebar. So it might actually be it might actually be worth submitting your feedback.
I just want someone to talk to. And sometimes I want someone to kick in the crotch.
Why can't I just shoot you from point blank? Yeah,
Hey.
there we go.
Oh.
Dead gnome. Good gnome, dead gnome.
Oh,
Good Paparino. All right. That's it, though. It's just a gnome. Just a gnome, that's all. Anyway, so, but for anyone not familiar with the history of the incident, like I said, Massey's speech is a fantastic little introduction. And I mean it's an introduction because it is, like I said, only like a 5-minute little brief overview of what was essentially a quite the ordeal. Briefly, it's not on. Oh, it might not be on mobile. I guess I think it's under the little 3 dots menu up in the top, but it might not be on mobile. You could be right. But yeah, so the USS Liberty was a reconnaissance ship during the 7-Day War, which was Israel's the war between, let's just charitably say, the war between Israel and some of the surrounding Arab states. No, it was in fact a preemptive strike by Israel, but you can make some arguments that it was a justified strike. I think initially against Egypt, if I'm not mistaken, because they were the surrounding Arab states were very clearly preparing for war, possibly preparing to attack Israel, but certainly at least preparing for war. And so the nature of the conflict aside, though, right? The USS Liberty was a reconnaissance ship, U.S. Navy, where half the crew was U.S. Navy and half the crew was intelligence, naval intelligence, I think, but I'm not sure. But some kind of U.S. intelligence agency.
You're one of those who like to stick to their morals, aren't you?
Yeah. And so it was there is, of course, the possibility. Yeah. Oh, okay. There is the possibility. There we go.
Perfect for my husband, if he wore trousers.
This is interesting.
See what it's like there.
Ah, let's keep going. Yeah, the U.S. has absolutely gone to war for less. I agree wholeheartedly. The sinking of the Lusitania, which, to be fair, was sort of a U.S. Military target, I guess. If we're going to be really, really stretchy about what we mean by military target. How? How do I get up there? There's no vault option? Do I have to go above it? I really hope there's no time limit for this. How do I even go above it? Hate this. What's this? Oh, it's a mushroom. There's got to be something that will open this up later, maybe. I don't know. No. The Lusitania was essentially the at least the pretext for entering the First World War. And it was not a military vessel. It was a civilian vessel carrying military assets, essentially. But yeah, we did enter the First World War. But okay, here's the difference, though, right? The U.S. political class wanted to enter the First World War, right? Wilson, our worst president by far, was absolutely desperate to enter World War I. He absolutely wanted to do that. However, who was it that was president during the Liberty incident? Was it Ford? In any case, whoever was president at the time was not exactly chomping at the bit to declare war on Israel. And so, this incident where Israeli fighter jets started strafing and then firebombing a U.S. Navy vessel, and then subsequently Israeli torpedo boats attempted to sink the thing. And then eventually some more fighter jets were machine gunning lifeboats, deck crews, firefighters, as much as they possibly could. Box of fish. Box of crabs. Huh.
Hey, I like your hat.
Thanks. But yeah, it was a horrible incident. Right? It was, and of course Israel has claimed that it was a case of mistaken identity, which from all accounts is impossible. The ship was transponding. It was flying a parade-size U.S. flag, not even their standard-size flag, but the parade flag being the gigantic one, the one that's like swimming pool-sized flag. Sounds like an orange president we know today. Look, most U.S. presidents are desperate to go to certain wars. Right? Trump really, this time at least, really wanted to go to war with Iran. Okay. What's the quest here? Yeah, Trump really wanted to go to war with Iran. Oh, it's this one. I don't have enough money for any of these nice houses. Barack Obama desperately wanted to go to war in a few places, most notably probably Syria. George W. Bush obviously desperately wanted to go to Iraq, partially for the Israel lobby, but then also maybe even more significantly, he desperately wanted to go to war to avenge a perceived slight on his father. Yeah, Grace, the only two people I see in the chat are you and Imsip right now. But I do see both of you. Bowerstone Old Quarter. This looks nice. What's this? There's nothing here, though. Oh, that's the castle, I see. Okay. What about industrial? That is the main quest. Factory is haunted. You can do that. I think I want to do the D&D quest. I could go buy all of these and become a slumlord. I could buy literally all of these houses, my current money, and become a slumlord. Yeah, I will do that stuff, but first I'm going to An island getaway? Escort him to Driftwood. Yeah, sure. Let's do this one. Let's do this. Let's escort this guy to Driftwood.
Let me buy your unwanted items. Fair price paid. Bowerstone's finest items.
I'd love a pair of gloves like that, yeah. Very stylish. You mind if I copy your haircut?
We could be best friends. If you like people with an ass for a face.
Where is that fucking gnome?
You look rather...
I just want to shoot a gnome, guys. I'm not shooting people. I'm shooting gnomes. They're not people. They don't count.
You ever wanted to bang an anvil? Now's your chance.
I feel about gnomes how Israelis feel about Palestinians and Egyptians and Americans and everyone except Israelis. Anyway.
I'd like to get to know someone like you, and then drown them.
I'm not buying this house if there's a gnome in it. I'm renting Professor McCoy's shanty town. Rent $3,000 a month, and gas is $6 a gallon. Listen, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that that my idiot brother of a king decided to invade. I don't know what's the Fable equivalent of France?
And a better day to kill.
Because Albion, it's England. It's just England.
You seem like a very nice person. I kill nice people, you know.
How can I find this stupid fucking gnome? I want it dead right now. Any idea how dead I want this thing? I just riddle this place with bullets. Think that'll do it?
Is an evil tyrant. Monarchy, what is it good for?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Never should the lives of the many be controlled by the will of one man. Or woman. Seen that. Doesn't work either. Anyway, what we need is a republic.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
the
sure.
past, I've called for democracy, but I was speaking to some people and they really opened my eyes to this republic thing. Rise up to overthrow the monstrous autocrat. In the meantime, appoint me as supreme ruler.
No, okay.
I will faithfully oversee the transition
This is
from
how this
monarchy
works. Yeah.
to republic, strictly on a temporary basis. Really, no, really, I mean it. You can trust me.
Yeah, okay.
Can I be a
Sim
servant?
says, I'm a bit confused. Talking about D&D. As why Verano's lost an arm. I'm not outraged, just genuinely confused as to how. Okay, yeah. So the mechanics for... I thought I went over this fully. So,
You know what you need? A face tattoo. They're very popular among the ugly.
You expect me to believe that? Bet you won't
Oh,
take
that's
a
actually
deal
true,
in
though.
my shop.
oh, God. Yeah, Imsip, that's basically just French Revolution. But yeah, so, how lingering injuries work, and you rolled a bad one, I will say. Not the worst. Not the worst. Not the worst we've even seen, but bad. It is, so you roll on the lingering injury table, when you are downed by a named or important enemy. When you take more than half of your hit points in damage in a single hit. More than your total, more than half your total. Or when a confirmed crit hits you, which is a mechanic I borrowed from older editions. So basically, so enemy rolls a natural 20, they roll again, and if that second roll hits your AC, that is a confirmed crit. That's how critical hits used to work in older editions. And so that is what triggered the roll on the critical injury table. Basically, the guy got a really lucky shot.
The best shop in Bowerstone.
Erica, yeah, Lyanne had to roll on the critical injury table because she lost more than half her health in one hit as well. It's not the worst. We have the ring. That is true. You've got a Ring of Regeneration, which was the best random loot I've ever rolled in D&D. That is on par with the fudged treasure roll of the legendary diamond that brought Drawthin back.
Is that it is small.
If you recall that, Erica. At one point, she says, at one point, Leanne lost both an ear and an eye at the same time. Also, the crab incident. Yes, the crab. Yeah, Grace, it is currently in the chat. The only people I see are you, Imsimp, and Erica.
At least I was, until I lost it all on a game of dice yesterday.
Uh-oh.
You take me? Wonderful. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really.
I'm sure.
You come to this pub often?
Your finest drink, if you please. Anything you can spare. I can find a use for it.
On par with rolling a 99 and 3.5, getting the Ring of Spell Reflection. Oh, yeah!
But don't you think your grand's feet are cold without them?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was such a good item. I need to bring that in later. Later, not now. That is a really high level item, but I think there is a 5th edition version of it already.
Buy your unwanted items.
Thanks.
Fair price paid. Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, have I told you about my gambling technique? Guaranteed to win. Well,
No.
not guaranteed. In fact, statistically no different from random, but that's not the point, really, is it?
Yeah, Imsip, I think I agree. It'll give him a legendary reputation in the duel. Because, regen, right? He regrew a limb just like they did. He just didn't eat it. When the Yule, that is lizard folk, for those who are not playing my D&D setting,
Just right to be moving on to
when
plus
lizard folk
new, somewhere where
lose
the
an
locals
appendage,
don't know who I am.
they typically
Know what I mean?
eat the.
There he is, trying to get away. Let's put him down.
They typically eat the missing limb.
Great block.
I've had just about enough of you. Ah, God. Okay.
Watch out. He's one of those spellcasters.
Oi, don't let that little wimp beat you. It's embarrassing.
Really?
Rip the bugger limb from limb, matey boys.
Oh, go and stick your spells in your ass, you cheater.
Oh, that was cool.
Instant death? Maybe it's
Don't you idiot! He's...
That was kind of tough. All right, sweet. Yeah, it seems we probably have lurkers. That happens. Hi, lurkers. How are you? I'm glad to have you.
I love gambling.
I'd be even
It's
happier
just
to see you
so
commenting and chatting and stuff, but
exciting.
you're welcome to lurk. Don't feel
Losing everything you've ever
don't feel
worked for
obligated.
on the roll of a dice. Who could say no to that?
cremation or burial. Trying to get away. Let's put him down. Let him... Nice work, mate. Using fire. How do you like them potatoes? You're supposed to be doing the whacking and smacking, not the other way round. What?
Did I get him? I think I got him. That was tough.
I'm ready when you are.
So you know, guys in the chat, I have to assume that the only situation, the only explanation that seems remotely plausible to me is that somewhere in some like background system, like functionally blocked each other for you. Like something probably automated happened, and
Maybe I can win all
YouTube
that
is
money
way
I
too
owe.
reliant on AI systems at
No?
this point to
Probably
to
just as well.
actually respond to the
Wouldn't
issue.
want to end up owing someone like you money. I love gambling. It's just so, exciting. Losing everything you've ever worked for on the roll of a dice.
There he is, trying to get away.
Really
Let's put him
close
down.
shave. He was lucky, mate. Keep trying. You'll get through in the end. Oi, that Ponzi magic stuff ain't fair. Great luck. Hey, you bastard. Leave my mate alone.
I hate magic users even more. Kill the damn dog.
How'd you like that?
Oh, come on, we don't got any magic. You're cheating.
You do actually. What are you talking about?
I should have brought.
Oh yeah, that's right. Erasmus broke a leg.
Yeah.
Did he lose an eye too, or no? He wanted to, but I don't actually remember if he managed to.
All right.
So you never do anything bad.
Instant death is on the chart. That is an option. The other really bad one that we managed to heal relatively quickly was Ambrosius, who fractured his back. It was a spinal injury, falling from a great height. I think that was actually fighting goblins, if I remember right, at Lyanne's house.
I never cheat at cards, you know. Of course not. Never. Well,
I don't know about that.
never.
I don't know if I believe you.
Just sometimes. A bit, when I think I can get away with it.
When you think you can get away with it. Well, didn't work out, did it? Yeah, Grace, talking about D&D. Of the various D&D horror stories, you know? That was a, that was a solid, tough fight. The bandits could probably have finished off one or two of you. I don't think they could have killed the whole party, though. Yeah, fractured spine. Okay, yeah.
Until another time, then. We've made it! Thank you, thank you. Here's some gold for your trouble. Maybe I'll invest the rest of my money in this new place. Perhaps I'll build a casino.
What?
Bright wall's your best bet.
That seems like a bad idea, but okay. Ooh, he wants to buy furniture for a lot of money. That's nice. Maybe I'll check into that, huh? Let's check out these houses, huh?
Let me buy your unwanted items. Fair price paid.
If I could figure out where I am on the map, that would be tremendously helpful. Good. Guess I'm right here, right? The old trout.
Hi there. How can I help?
All right. cheers.
Yeah,
Happy
so
to
I'm gonna
be
go
of
back out
service.
I like
the
being
gate of the city. What? No! I don't want to go to the castle. So multi-classing is not prohibited, but at least not in this campaign. It's just the only thing is the sort of setting specific nature of a lot of
I am very impressed.
backstory and a lot of sources of magic and a lot of things like that. But I in general don't have, especially in more sort of conventional D&D fantasy campaign settings. I have no problem with that sort of thing. That said, Druid Bard seems odd to me. Can I come in and look around? Alright, so you got a first floor with a couple of beds. That's nice. You got a second floor. Let's go and see how that is. But it's an outside stairs. All of the houses in this game have outside stairs. And it's a master bedroom. Ooh. Fancy. Very fancy. Reaver Industries, huh? Alright. Thought about multi-classing, but not in this campaign. Thought of having a dark elf who's a sorcerer and a fighter, basically an evil battle mage. You can do that. I don't know if sorcerer is a good... I mean, sorcerer is halfway decent. You can do sorcerer as a Gish build, but it's hard. I think there are better ways to synergize with fighter to make a sort of battle mage.
If business carries on like this, I'll be able to start up that trade.
I think that, yeah, like I said, I think there are better ways to do that.
Hello.
Yeah, there are better ways of doing a battle mage kind of a build.
There's new makeup available if you want to make yourself prettier.
Wizard, maybe War Wizard is decent. Observer. If you really wanna crank up the cheese, go Observer Wizard. And either Psionic, whatever the Psionic Knight class fighter is, or the not Duskblade. It's the half, the like 1/3 spellcaster fighter subclass. Whatever it is. Oh, no, nothing of particular use. And I only have 39. Yeah, oddly, I will say Wizard Giants with Fighter a little bit better than Sorcerer does. Can a Paladin be evil and serve an evil god? In theory, in current edition D&D, yes.
Can I be of service?
Traditionally, that would be referred to as a Blackguard.
Hope you enjoy it.
And there used to be different basically subclasses or variant classes. What's this? Blacksmith, huh?
We've sold swords to all the greatest warriors.
We don't ever want to see a blackguard until we're like level 12. Yeah, no, especially because they typically come with a retinue as well.
Melee weapons of all sizes.
Which, that'll be fun. They're extremely high-level, powerful
I
enemies.
don't believe it. You're a hero. I mean, you're a real hero. That's just what we need.
We'll probably encounter some someday.
We are three
Likely.
magi of great power.
Just saying.
I am Madron of 1,000 faces, and this is Kaliv, Lord of the Fairies. And lo, as I have attested, there is a third who is counted
Yeah,
among our
inspired by
number.
Elric a little bit.
Goodness sake, Mark. My mum wants me home for supper.
Fine.
At least a little bit.
Hello? That's Jim. Now, Princess Frexia has been taken by an evil baron to another plane. Will you rescue her?
All you have to do is take this magic orb, and you'll be transported to the Baron's realm.
What say you,
Sure,
hero?
let's play some
Will you
D&D,
aid us?
since we're talking about it.
Aid.
Yes. Oh, look, I'm being transformed into a miniature.
Let me know if you want to sing.
Yeah, 5e, okay, yeah, 5e stat block for Blackguard is only CR 8, but yeah, I agree, that is boring. That's dumb, that's boring. They should be
Hero
much higher than
waits.
that.
Long had he harbored thoughts of vengeance against the evil baron.
Get on with it.
I have not read
So it was
Elric.
that the hero came to the little village. of
I'm
White,
generally not a fan
pretty
of
hamlet
Moorcock
nestling under the brooding
and
battlements
his style of
the
fantasy.
evil baron's castle. Our hero resolved to talk to the townsfolk and see what he could find out about the missing princess.
You're kidding, right? If the hero starts talking to all the villagers, we'll be here forever.
Well, some players like talking to people, immersing themselves in the story world.
This is like when you told me people read item descriptions. No one reads item descriptions. As it happens, cool. Looks like old Clem is up.
Okay, old Clem.
Hail, hero!
Ooh, CR16 one
I am
launch range
old
expanded. That's pretty cool.
Clem, the blacksmith. I make weapons, and if you bring me some sky metal, I can make you a magic sword.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's 1,000 gold per plus. So, a +3 sword is 3,000 gold.
That's it?
Oh, and I can't make anything more than a +3 because I'm only a journeyman blacksmith. Bit early in the adventure for anything above a +3. It's unbalancing, you see.
Forging doesn't work. I didn't have time to do the models.
Are you serious? A game like this is all about customization.
You can tell when this was made, because this was made near the end of the 3.5 run, into 4th edition, not 5th edition, because +3 weapon is being treated as, like, early tier, whereas that is epic level in 5th edition, just based on how balancing works. Yeah, Grace mentions the encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas. I generally liked it. There were some issues I had with it, like two really, just two real issues I had. I am hoping to do a podcast about it. Maybe this week's. Hopefully this week's podcast is going to be about Magnifica Humanitas. So I'll briefly mention my two issues I had. One was a short section near the beginning, on called The Common Good. Not called The Common Good, but it was on The Common Good, the section that goes over the common good and its use in Catholic social theory, or Catholic social teaching. And I had some hope, as I said somewhere, that Pope Leo would be the one to actually give a coherent explanation and even a definition of what the common good means, and he didn't. He was, in fact, uncharacteristically vague and fluffy when it came to talking about the common good, which is unfortunately typical of anyone talking about the common good. It frankly, what it felt like to me was that section was sort of obligatory. Like, he knows that because he's writing a social encyclical, so he has to say something about the common good, but being an intellectual, he's he knows that that is a vague and largely confused concept. Now he makes some use of it in a few places, but only in a really narrow sense, in the sense of the sort of preconditions for the development of virtue of individuals, something like that. The shared preconditions for virtue. But that's also, he explicitly says, well, that's not what we mean by the common good. So the whole thing, as usual, falls apart. So that section, unfortunate, but honestly not surprising. The other unfortunate but not surprising bit is that a few times, especially late in the encyclical, he has a rather naive view of the state as an intrinsically benevolent actor, or as a sort of neutral third party, like completely ignoring things like public choice. But again, that's kind of to be expected, really. Theologians tend to be very naive politically. So yeah, those are my two issues with the encyclical, which in one this long, that's really something that I only really had two relatively narrow problems with it. But I think he had a lot of good things to say as well about the specific dangers of these novel technological developments, especially but not exclusively AI. But he also just generally talks about the internet and social media and interconnectivity and all of these things, right? And the information economy. And he talks about he really focuses on the dehumanizing aspects of these technologies, which I think are a genuine threat. And I think that is absolutely worth thinking about, worth focusing on, especially as we sort of move forward into this new world we find ourselves moving into. So, there you go. My very brief thoughts about the encyclical. Take that as an invitation to read it. I think it is worth taking the time to read. A milkmaid.
A humble milkmaid. To brighten my joyless days, I daydream about a handsome nobleman, strong enough to dispatch highwaymen, but gentle enough to hold me for hours in his warm, powerful arms.
Hang on, who's talking here? You or Mildred?
That was Mildred.
What about the princess? You should say that Mildred saw some hobs carrying a large wriggling bag.
But she didn't.
And that she's really hot.
I mean, yeah, that's... I guess you gotta have some kind of romantic subplot in your D&D, right?
Oh, the hero's approaching Horace. Brilliant.
Okay.
Greetings, mighty hero. I am Horace, the most gifted poet of our age. Shall I recite a sonnet for you? Oh, radiant orb, into the sky rise, and illuminate for mine mortal eyes my true love's face, and in silhouette frame her slender and curvaceous frame. What do you think, guys?
Nice. Frame with frame. I guess the most gifted poet of our age doesn't own a thesaurus.
Bro. These D&D players are very horny, which again fits the stereotype, especially at this time period. Imsip says, I am not exaggerating. I have learned so much about playing D&D in the last few weeks, playing with you and playing Celasta once again. Thank you, Erica, that I did in all the years of playing D&D in college. I understand how spells work, bonus action, short and long rest. I felt like in college we were just winging it, and no campaign got us past level 2 or 3 before everyone gave up. Yeah, I get that. I get it. My first 5th edition campaign, because I had a group of friends who we had played 3.5 for years, both as a group and independently. And so when we first decided, hey, we're going to try this 5th edition thing, we did a lot of things dramatically wrong. And only a few of those things were on purpose wrong. Like, we completely misunderstood how opportunity attacks work, or what you technically now call attacks of opportunity. They used to be called opportunity attacks. And it used to be whenever you moved through an enemy's threat. But you could avoid that by taking what's called a 5-foot step in lieu of your movement. You could move 5 feet, so you could like step out of somebody's threat or circle around them or that sort of thing. But if you're going to move more than that, you're going to provoke an opportunity attack. Now it's when you leave an enemy's threat, no matter how far you walk, how far you move. So you can move around within somebody's threat without provoking easily. That sort of thing. We also did counterspelling wrong, but that's because 3.5's counterspelling system was really quite something.
The hero's gonna talk to Arturo. Now we can get things moving. Greetings, stranger. I can see from your good looks and heroic demeanor that you must be on a quest to rescue the princess.
I am.
I saw her yesterday, carried off by the Baron's evil servants, a troop of hobs. They took her through this gate to the castle on the hill.
What, that's it? No clues to solve or anything?
Well, the hero has to figure out how to get up the hill.
You mean like by climbing it?
Hey, no spoilers.
Yeah, okay. Yes, disengaging costs an action. It used to just be you could take a 5-foot step. So you only moved 5 feet. You, one, didn't need Pie of Inelectable Flatulence. Pie was baked yesterday by the Warlock Chef. Jamie Windbreaker. Unfortunately, he was killed in a huge gas explosion before the pie could be eaten. Let's see what happens. Am I gonna die? Not dying. Okay. Anyway, yeah, mechanically, movement used to be significantly different. That's all I'm saying, really. So Grace is mentioning about trying to read the encyclical. I did find and ironically, AI voice to text, or text to voice, audio version of the whole thing. Somebody made it very distinctively not using the Pope's voice, just so that no one mixed it up with him actually reading it.
The hero decided to investigate
or giving it as a speech or whatever.
On the hill.
It's not very eerie, though, is it? Ben, you did the tower, didn't you?
Yeah, but I thought you said pretty.
What kind of adventure has a pretty tower on a hill?
Be quiet, you two. I'll deal with this.
It's poopy.
Ah, now you're talking.
Nice. Is that right? Anyway, yeah, there is an audio version. There isn't an actual version of Pope Leo himself reading it or giving it as an address. I don't even think there's a Latin version. Which Pope Leo does. I don't know if he fluently speaks Latin or whatever, but he does.
Slew the last of the wolves, which had proven to be a mighty challenge.
He's done plenty of things in Latin, so he's as fluent as any
bit predictable though.
Modern linguist might be.
It wears off a bit when you realise you can't fight them, though, doesn't it?
Does everything have to be about fighting?
But no, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken,
story is conflict.
Both based on the fact that the Pope's first language is in English and based on the grammatical structure, I believe the encyclical was originally composed in English. Which may be a first, by the way. Then again, it may have been composed in Latin. That is also possible. I'm not 100% sure of that, and I don't want to...
The hero entered the Baron's factory.
Teddy bears. What are teddy bears doing here?
Aren't they sweet? I put them in. Nice, eh?
Yeah, they are. They are nice. You know what we don't want in the evil Baron's castle? Anything nice.
Shh! Here come the princess and the baron.
Help! Oh, somebody please help! I've been kidnapped by the evil Baron!
I am the evil Baron, and the princess shall be my wife.
I'm far better
All
than
these
these
bears
guys.
will, well, they'll do evil stuff, for they are evil teddy bears.
I shall never marry
Hi, no
you.
thanks. How you doing?
Oh, she's spirited like that.
Is this a mimic? No, okay. Thought they were gonna do that.
A wise old man suddenly appeared before the hero.
Oh.
Riddle me ree, cried the old man.
Oh no, not one of your puzzles. They're far too hard. Just let him open the chest.
If all trimps are trumps, and all trumps are trumps, then all trimps are definitely trumps. True or false?
Actually, that's rather easy.
Oh, just give him the sword.
You ruined my puzzle. Took me ages to work that out, and now he's got the
Comes from
sword
the
far
Artifacts
too
and
easy.
Armaments
Should've
Codex,
been much
Popular
harder.
Games, Hollows and Hobbs, 3rd edition. Revision 1.5.2.2.1.7.3.0.0.8b. Let's check our weapon room, shall we? Let's see if this is worth using.
Your arsenal contains a new sword.
Okay, Know It All, I've already unlocked. Plus 30% sense of self-importance. Objective, memorize quotes from fictional science plays, plus 90 damage versus space elves. Oh, the irony. Try desperately hard to make fun of stereotypes. Minus 50% self-awareness. Oh my god. Yeah, no thanks. There's a whole context behind the the mutually invisible problem between Grace and Imsimp. The assumption is that YouTube did something. There was some kind of goof up somewhere in the back end, and there's no one with an actual pulse and brain working at YouTube anymore. It's all AI. And so, just as the Pope warned, funny enough, what we have is a system where we have
Set up the lever.
unthinking
I thought it was Jim's job.
decision makers,
Quick, let's
essentially.
make something up.
Well, how about it releases a cloud of lovely.
And that's one of those. That's one of those seriously dehumanizing problems
Worst game
that
ever.
that Pope Leo's
Serious.
consistently
How about
concerned
a
about.
standard Hollow Man encounter?
Yeah, let's have some bloody action.
Real big explosion. Ooh, what was that? Hey! Noise.
The hollow men vanquished, the hero ventured on.
Yeah, AI is 100 monkeys on typewriters, just with a system to select the random successes out of it. Basically, that's all it really is. I mean, there is also the other possibility that it's Grace. There's the other possibility that it's just demons.
By the killer monsters of this
Probably not,
ravine.
but it's possible. No thanks, Ass. He's been thinking about witches lately. Do I know about the Witch's Hammer book or the Demonomicon by King James? I've heard of both. But the Witch's Hammer is the only one that I'm at all directly familiar with. I haven't read any of the Demonomicon. I've seen some things about and read excerpts and things from the Witch's Hammer. The superlative contraceptive was forged in the fires of hell itself for her pleasure. Can I unaccept it? Okay. See, that is precisely the kind of loot that that a lot of the degenerates who play D&D, or at least especially did at this point, at this point in time in like 2010-ish,
I thought it was time to
would
put
have
in
dropped
something
for some silly
cute,
reason.
but also to make us think about our relationship with food and that.
Bloody hell, Ben, you... Wait, let me fix it. There. This is no ordinary chicken. It's a fire-breathing demon chicken.
Okay.
That could lead to a nasty infection.
That is just gross.
Oh.
I kind of feel bad. Oh, I thought the hero was done for that time.
The hero will feast on chicken flesh tonight.
Why can't I dodge roll? Oh, because I'm not technically in combat, that's why.
Come on, stalwart hero, you can't let that bird get away with that. Maybe don't kill them quite so quickly, it's boring to watch. And so the mighty hero triumphed over the fire-breathing demonic, chickens of doom. Anyway, on he ran, seeking a way out of these dark and gloomy caverns.
Okay, back to Lightwater
The
Village.
hero emerged into the light to find the evil Baron at bay.
Jeez, guys, that's
Help me, hero.
weird.
You're my only hope.
I, the Baron, shall tolerate your
God.
meddling no longer. My
This reminds me of
God will take care of you.
Inscription.
They hunger for human flesh. Soon my mob minions will be feasting on your limbs. Stop that hob slaying! Just let them kill you, damn it!
Bitchin'.
Another hop down! Damn you, hero! Damn you! Curse you, hero! You're going to kill them all, aren't you? Stop that hop killing! Blast you! Stop killing my gods, you pig!
All right. This
Be
looks like a boss
sport
arena.
And let them kill you! This cannot be! This cannot be! Eat it, hero! Curse you, hero! You're going to kill them all, aren't you? Underlings will destroy you utterly! This cannot be!
The Baron's elite guards lay at the hero's feet.
Right,
Nothing
excellent.
now stood between him and the evil.
No thanks that they didn't like 5e. Always having another challenge of my level. Every scenario resolved by fighting. Super balanced. Always having another challenge your level that's a DMing issue rather than it being a 5th edition issue. Ask my players. I will throw things at them that are not balanced, because I do tend to think that, depending on the campaign, there are campaigns where balance can be interesting and useful. Fine, but in a more sandbox type of campaign, or at least a campaign within a sandbox type of world, balance interrupts realism more than anything else. So unless you mean balance between player options, in which case, yeah, 5th edition does that.
I challenge
Not necessarily in a bad way, though.
personal combat, hero. But know that I am immune to all weapons save one. A magic sword.
I
That
got
is
it.
the bane of my existence, which there is no way you could possibly have. The sword! The Bane sword! It cannot be! No! I am slain!
I love when you kill the boss before he finishes monologuing.
What kind of rubbish game lets you kill the villain in one blow?
Well, you gave the hero that Baron's Bane sword.
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be so easy to get.
Oh, give it a rest, will you, please? Come on, back to the game.
Hero, thank you for saving me. How can I ever repay you?
I can think of something.
Yeah, the hero kisses the princess.
But only because she wants him to, being a strong, self-confident woman who chooses her own destiny.
Oh my god. Let us kiss the princess and become good aligned, shall we? My god. No thanks, since I like some unreasonable challenges, but in my imagination, pretty much all scenarios would be overwhelming in favor of the characters. Yeah, I think that... oh my god, what in the hell? I mean, it is a cardboard
they both
cutout.
lived
So.
happily ever after?
Well, they would have, but the Baron had poisoned the princess and she died an excruciating death. Her inhuman death shrieks tormented a local stable boy who grew up to be a vicious serial killer. And cannibal.
You're sick, Jim. Why do you always want to kill everything? Why can't we just have a happy ending?
That is a happy ending.
I'm with Ben.
What?
They both lived happily ever after, and there was little to no cannibalism.
Oh, great. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Oh my god. The Jim here is Michael Moorcock. To go to an earlier discussion. Are they playing on girl boss feminism here? Yeah, a little bit. Like they're doing a good job of lampooning
You
like
have to be the best
D&D
hero
culture of this
all the
time, which I
I'm gonna
barely
have my
knew.
bard stroke
Who's
sorcerer
barely
compose a
into
song
D&D
about
at this
you.
point.
Whatever.
We bestow upon you the title of Honorary Master of Dungeons!
Orb of Magica. Okay. He survived the game and returned to the real world. But was it just a game? And is this the real world? Maybe the fantasy hasn't ended. Maybe it's only just begun. Actually, no, it's ended. I mean, it is a game. Yeah! I wish they had done that. Like, nodded to that a little bit. But they're not getting that meta.
If I may say so, sir, you have succeeded most admirably in gaining a large
Good bit of
measure
gaming,
of
that.
popular
When's
support
the
among
next
the
session?
locals.
Same time next week?
I believe
Hang
this
on,
would be a
where's the
good
orb?
time
We
to
sure?
return to that
Which orb?
rather dreary
How many
home
orbs have we got?
that your new
The
rebel
orb of
acquaintances
interplane
like
our
to call
transference.
home.
Oh, yeah, I've already read that. Letter insulting them. Oh, wait a minute. Is this his... Ooh, it's a, I guess a miniature painting station or a terrain building or construction or something station. Cool. Oh, that's the castle. And there's bits and pieces. It's got a DM screen up in the top, up here. I wish you could read it, but oh well. Cool. I have played a bunch of different systems, and I will say they all have different merits. No thanks says 3.5 was the best, in my opinion. I didn't like the later balanced MMO versions. Oh yeah, fourth edition. I'm sorry, 4th edition didn't have any redeeming character. That's not true. 4th edition had at least one redeeming characteristic, and it's that it made a good MMO mechanically. Neverwinter. The MMO Neverwinter is based on 4th edition rules, and they actually work quite well. Because 4th edition is built more or less like an MMO. And so when you take those mechanics and you put them into a literal MMO, it actually works quite well. So that is the one thing that 4th edition did right. Which was wrong. Shouldn't have done that because of its tabletop game. But that is something that 4th edition did well. So anyway, yeah, there you go. There's something that 4th edition did right, kind of. Neverwinter. But yeah, otherwise, yeah. 4E was just bad. Everyone knows it. Everyone acknowledges it. It is in no way controversial. 4th edition sucked. It was the worst edition of D&D so far. See, that's the thing. Like, see, I'm not one of these old school 5th edition haters. Because I actually like 5th edition.
I bet you sleep on a big pile of gold.
I don't really like... Huh?
My father always said I should swing a sword, but oh...
I don't really like how 5th edition is typically played. Mostly just because it is the it generally winds up being the stereotype of what's it called? What's that web series? You know, the one with Matt Mercer.
Anything I can buy off you?
You know the one. Critical Role. That's it. But yeah, it takes most 5e DMs and 5e players are basically trying to play Critical Role, and I don't think that's very good. But yeah, it's Topaz is nice. It's 5th edition is not the problem. Is essentially, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Right? It's how it's typically played. Put it that way. I guess I have to buy that house and then go into the backyard, huh? That chest. Let's try it. Let's do it, I guess. It's all boarded up. Vacant. Mega fun mansion. Okay. No. Critical Role was a web series. Oh. Is this where I just was? Or is this someone else playing D&D? Oh, it is where I just was. Okay, very silly of me. I guess. But yeah, it's not... it is a live play series where a bunch of mostly voice actors play Dungeons & Dragons. But a lot of it is fairly scripted. And they play mostly 5th edition. They have started playing their own system of Daggerheart? Daggerheart? I think it's called. Which is kind of like 5th edition, but a little gayer. It's a very, very narrative-focused tabletop.
I like that top you're wearing. It really suits you.
How do I get back there? Right, I have to buy the business at the end of the street. Or the house. I don't know if it's a business or a house, but whatever it is. Yeah, this one. Whatever this is. What was this? It's a house. Let's rent it. Hope it's this one, not the next one. It was the next one.
Isn't that cute?
There's other houses, you know. This one's mine.
I own it. I'm your landlord. I should also change, so I'm not in my full armor at the moment, huh?
Welcome to the sanctuary. I trust you.
No. So it's scripted. They do roll. There are real rolls, but a lot of the DCs are set in a way that it's relatively hard for them to fail, like on purpose. It's God, how do I put it? It's the story. It's because it's such a narrative-driven game or campaign. It is much more like the DM telling a story.
I really think it's time you left.
And the players kind of playing along with it, if that makes sense. At least in terms of the decisions that they make. Does that make sense, I guess? Oh, really? Grace says Brennan Lee Mulligan. Brennan Lee Mulligan. The current campaign DM is playing an older system. I can't remember which. Yeah, it's not Daggerheart? I thought they were playing Daggerheart. That might have been the last campaign, though. No Thanks has played all of the White Wolf games, Shadowrun, D&D Rifts. I haven't... The only ones of those I've played are D&D and Shadowrun. It's been a long time since I played Shadowrun. I think there's probably been a new edition or two since I did. Last time I played Shadowrun was in, I think, high school. Like, back in 2006 through 8 or something. Maybe 9. Whoa! Okay, I got some experience from a chest. That's an odd thing to get from a chest. Alright. Shadowrun 2 is the best. Which one was that? What would I have probably played if I played the most recent edition of Shadowrun in, like, the mid to late noughties? Because I only played, like, 2 relatively short campaigns of it. It was fun. I mostly, I did enjoy the setting. It's a more fantastical, cyberpunk kind of a world, which I did enjoy. Was it 2? Okay. The one with the stereotypical bathtubs of D6s. Oh, yeah. 3 they get into Wi-Fi. Yeah, there was not that when I played. It was jacking in to things. that kind of thing. Yeah, if you were they're called netrunners, right? Or was that the cyberpunk term? Oh, they are sticking with D&D in Critical Role Season 4. Okay. Yeah, Imsim asked, do you think I should play Baldur's Gate 3 after completing Solasta for more in-depth experience? Baldur's Gate 3 is not more in-depth. It's more character-driven. But it is mechanically not more in-depth. Solasta is a lot crunchier and more in-depth in terms of actual mechanics. D&D mechanics. It is also much more accurate to D&D mechanics. Much more so. Baldur's Gate is very much an adaptation of the system to jive with the design philosophy of the studio, which is Larian. That's it, Larian Studios. It's a kind of hybrid of D&D 5th Edition and their Divinity 2 system, their Divinity Original Sin system, engine, whatever. Also, as Erica says, I also couldn't stand any of the characters. The NPCs were awful, except for Karlach. The rest range from totally boring to annoying to infuriating. Yeah, that's the thing. And if we look at the Baldur's Gate 3 NPCs, the party members, the only one whose backstory I would even consider allowing at my table is probably Lizelle. Frog lady. The rest of them, absolutely not as first level characters, or really as almost any level characters. They're every single one of them special snowflake Mary Sue Gary Stews. Every single one, without exception. Gale, an archwizard with a Tressum pet / familiar, who isn't with him. Because he stayed in his tower in Waterdeep. He has a tower in Waterdeep, by the way. Also, he was the consort of the goddess of magic for a while. Yeah, okay. Shut up. Revise and resubmit. I'm tearing up your character sheet. As DM, that is not even slightly acceptable as a character backstory. No way. No way. Then, pick another one. Even Karlach. I like her as a character. Like, her characterization is nice. She's a good character to have at the table in terms of her personality, but her backstory is just as bad. She was basically sold into demonic slavery, and then, like... sold into demonic slavery, wanted, where she was fighting in hell on the front lines of the Blood War, which and still not dead. Like, yeah, okay. Level 1. Shut up. Stop being so special. No one can touch me, because I'm...
You seem like a very nice person. I kill nice people, you know?
Because I'm made of... my heart is on fire. Yeah, okay, we get it. Like, stop. Shadowheart is maybe the worst offender. No, Gale is the worst offender. Shadowheart's maybe the second worst. She was a spy and an assassin for the god of darkness, goddess of darkness, whatever. Darkness, forgetfulness, and non-being itself. And had her memories erased because she was born as a priestess of that goddess's arch nemesis, the goddess of the moon, who is very special and good and happy. And her parents are still captured and you have to rescue them. And they still call her Jenny, even though her name is Shadowheart, because she is so... her heart is veiled in shadows. Like, seriously, no. Absolutely not. Like I said, none of the characters in Baldur's Gate 3, except maybe Lizelle, would I ever think about allowing at my table. Lizelle is relatively simple. She is Githyanki. She is a soldier for the Githyanki, and it is her responsibility to track down this artifact that is the main plot MacGuffin. Simple as that. And maybe she's going to learn some things about her people that are going to get her to question some things, and that will be interesting. That's the sum total of her characterization, and I love it. That is a great first level backstory. Phenomenal. Oh, yeah, you must have missed that. Imsip, I said I have not read the Elric novels. I'm not a big fan of Moorcock and his style of fantasy, frankly. Oh my god, Imsip says I definitely need to use that annoying white girl voice next time you order a coffee. I'll have to buy you a coffee for that sole reason. Excuse me, I'm drinking a matcha latte that is made in a fashion that I refer to as a witch's butthole. And it's very calming. There is a reason I call it a witch's butthole.
Very sorry, but I'm afraid you'll have to go somewhere else tonight.
Somewhere else? And where
I'm sure they're good. I just don't like dark fantasy. It's very much dark
and
fantasy.
I'll freeze to death on the streets.
It's low dark fantasy.
Don't bash my skull in first.
But you think you're the only one who has
Look, I don't.
problems?
As much as I
sorry,
like the game, The Witcher 3, the third
I
Witcher
wish I could
game,
help you,
I haven't played the first two. But as much as I like the third game, I don't actually like the setting.
I hope you're not looking for
And I
so
don't
much
actually, and I
today, 'cause
from
this place
from
is
what
about to
little I've tried to
close.
read, I don't
For
actually
good.
like the books.
I have no choice. I have to
So.
sell the building to pay the ransom. It's the only way to get my fiancée back.
I'll get her.
I tried to work up the courage to rescue her. Damn that ferret and his gang. They've got everyone living in fear, even me. But if I had you with me, you could go in there and show them what fear really is. We could rescue my fiancée, put Ferret out of business, and I could keep the shelter open. Please, if not for me,
Yeah,
do it for the poor people who depend on this place.
let's do it. That's very hero-like.
Oh, thank you. My poor love. It's been agony being apart from her.
So dark
About
fantasy
time those
meaning that
thugs
that
faced
it's
justice.
not
The
about
rough kind. They've
heroes
been
being
harassing
heroic.
The local homeless for weeks. But now this. it's
Elric
outrageous. I know
is
where they are.
a
They
distinctively
demanded I bring them the ransom in a week's time. But I'll bring them something better.
flawed and broken protagonist. And his goals are not heroic, broadly speaking. Hey, can I come in?
Laszlo, you just cost me a bit of gold, mate. I bet old Harry'd take you the full week to get the money. You're an industrious one, ain't you?
Just open the bloody door, Keith. Let's have done with this.
Right, Mr. Ferret's down those stairs. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hang on. Who's your friend?
In your parlance, he's the bagman. And that gold doesn't leave his hands until my fiancée's walked out of your fetid little den.
All right, no need to get all uppity. You just watch yourself around, Mr. Ferret, or things will get unfriendly fast.
Mr. Ferret. Yeah, evil emperor, tragic anti-hero. Yeah, he rules tyrannically. Yeah, he's not hero. Anti-hero isn't even quite right, maybe, but I don't know. From what I know, it's I don't, like I said, I don't care for that sort of story. I like tales of grand heroism and triumph over evil. I don't really care for crappy people making their way in a crapsack world.
Laszlo,
You know?
I cannot tell you how elated I am to have this unfortunate situation brought to a satisfying resolution. Your associate can dispense with his burden by piling the funds upon the table.
There's no gold, Ferret. Now you cough up my
Why can't I
fiancée
just
from whatever
barge in and
filthy
stab
hole
him in
you're
the face?
keeping her in, or my associate is going to start collecting heads and piling them upon the table.
My initial
Would I say Elric is a blackguard? Maybe.
was clearly misguided. You possess some heart after
Maybe.
all. Lads, tear it out. Eat rusty stick. You wreck that boy. That stick goes in the chip well. Good kick, aim for the throat.
Chop.
Try not to get knocked over so easily next time, eh? How do you like that?
The main reason I don't like non-heroic fantasy is because I think I want fantasy to be escapist. The reason I read literature in general, well, first of all, I tend very strongly towards fantasy literature, and in my fantasy literature, I tend very strongly towards heroic high fantasy. Particularly Tolkien. Love me some Tolkien, obviously. But things like that, I really admire and appreciate. Heroic high fantasy type things.
It has forever changed the face of warfare.
And it's because I see fantasy and literature in general as escapism. Right? I hate, I despise, I cannot stand, and I am instantly bored, interminably bored, by anything with a trace of what you might call grounded realism in literature, and not just literature, but in any kind of fiction. Like, I don't want to read fiction or watch fiction or anything about what I could experience in real life. I want to experience fiction that is aspirational. What I want there to be. That's what I'm in it for. Conan, to use your example, Conan is on the edge. He is absolutely heroic, but he's an odd kind of heroic. It's an interesting kind of heroic. His heroism is very culturally conditioned. Hey, ferret.
You brought this on yourself, Ferret. This didn't have to happen.
Well, it still doesn't. We merely got off on the wrong foot. I'm no threat to you without my men, and I'm only too happy to return your fiancée. I can be quite accommodating.
Get on with it, then.
Well, the thing is, she's actually not on the premises exactly at the present time. She's incarcerated within a nearby facility, shall we say. That access hatch will provide you with, well, access.
The sewer? You fellas are a sophisticated lot. Please, go and get her. I'll keep an eye on Ferret.
A gun. I really did mischaracterize you.
Yeah? Well, I live in a bad neighborhood. I wonder whose fault that
That's a cool little pepper box.
Now don't move.
I dig it. Whee! Splash. Great.
Who are you? Where's my fiancé?
He sent me to rescue you.
Oh, are you qualified? I'm not sure I should just follow some complete stranger.
You qualified? Pupper Doggo, what are you doing?
Oh, how forward. Well, all right. I suppose it is a bit daft hanging around here.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curious, what are we going to get jumped by in here? Nothing there. Okay. Why are you following me? I thought you would only follow me if we were holding hands. Nice. Imsim says, I do enjoy your insights. I want to write something that exists in a somewhat dark world, but the heroes are ultimately heroic, perhaps even an anti-hero who becomes good. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, come on, really? Alright, there we go. We've unfrozen. Do I want to be jumped? No, I expect to be jumped.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, anti-hero who becomes good is that's reasonable. But the story at least has to acknowledge the flaws of a flawed hero, and that they are flaws and that they are to be improved upon, not just that they're, well, they are what they are, he is who he is.
Got it! Thank you. Those things are ghastly.
Doggo is back to whatever the hell he's doing. Isn't the game better if you're jumped? I mean, I just, it follows the tropes of this kind of a quest, you know? It's an escort quest. I'm supposed to be escorting her through a dangerous area. Is it all that dangerous if nothing bad happens? I guess bats.
If you told me a year ago that I'd one
Oh,
day find
Hobbs,
myself
okay.
wading through the sewers of Bowerstone Industrial, I'd have thought you mad. In fact, if you said today...
Blackguard becoming a paladin, the way Darth Vader is a Blackguard, former fallen paladin who redeemed himself. Yeah, get your butt down, dog.
Swarms of bats. Disgusting creatures. You'd think
Yeah, there is a there was a Star Wars sort of, I forget what you'd call it, basically an alternate timeline, alternate reality comic.
shudder to think. But what happens if it ever runs out?
Like an Elseworlds kind of comic, where it basically asked, well, what if Darth Vader had lived and had gone on to serve the New Republic? No thanks, says Anakin was never a paladin. He was training to be and trying to be, but yeah, I tend to agree. He was, if we can call him a paladin, he was a failed one, more or less, from the beginning. I can do that too. There we go. Alright, Pepper Doggo, you have a dig spot for me. Let's see. I don't think he was a fraud knight. I think he was a failed knight. But again, there is like I said, there's a version. It's like a sort of Elseworlds comic. It's not in any way canonical. Where Darth Vader, upon returning to the light side, rather than dying on the second Death Star, he escapes with Luke, and he paints his armor white, and winds up essentially being a paladin for the New Republic.
Nicely done.
Okay. I hope my dog doesn't stay like this.
I never want to see one of those again. Hobbs, right? They're just as horrible as I've always heard. Children disappear from Bowerstone Industrial all the time. Their society's invisible bottom rung, so nobody notices. I hate to think how many end up down here. I know who's behind all this, by the way. Reaver. Nothing happens in Industrial without his say-so. I mean, who cares what happens to the homeless? Reaver wants that shelter so he can turn it into a whorehouse or a casino or something. I suppose I should be flattered that such an important scumbag had me abducted. It's going to be a good day when Reaver falls. He's done a lot of harm to a lot of decent people. We should be nearly there. Nearly back to... Laszlo?
The way you said Laszlo was a little weird there. Okay, so no thanks to ask, why is that type of fantasy better? What's the difference?
I made it. Look, before we go back to Laszlo,
now
I just want to say you
hold
were
on, let's see what
amazing.
this is
I
about.
mean, you are amazing. I used to use the word when I was telling my friends about Laszlo. But next to you, he looks a bit boring now, doesn't he? Do I really want to spend my life with a man
Don't
like
do
that?
this.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You're right. Better to stay with him. Maybe I couldn't do any better. You never know.
God. So there's two answers to that. One is the subjective and one is the objective. Oh. Is sleep?
Geraldine.
Oh.
Oh, my head. That weasel Nigel Ferret must have struck me when my back was turned. Oh, darling, thank goodness you're all right.
Did he actually, or are you lying?
Thank you so much. You saved the most important person in my life. I'm forever in your debt.
Sweet.
I was so worried about you.
Yeah, thanks for that. I was all right, though, thanks to my rescuer. My big, strong, dashing, cunning fireball of a rescuer.
Will you stop it?
Of course I did. Sure. Never gave any thought to anything except being back by your side.
Oh, come here.
Okay. Got some passive income. Okay, so anyway, yeah. No thanks. Your question about a sort of heroic versus grounded world, and why the latter is better than the why the former is better than the latter. Now, you could be asking two different things here. Like I said, one is the subjective question, one is the objective question.
I don't like you.
I will tackle the subjective first. Okay. So, subjectively, just purely in terms of
Sorry.
repair that. Purely in terms of which ones I prefer, right? I prefer a fantastical world, one which is as far from the real world which I inhabit as possible, in good ways, because I already live in the real world, right? I don't want to have to spend my imaginative time in the real world. I get enough time, I get enough real world when I am, in the real world. It's the same reason why I don't study recent or contemporary history. When I study historical periods, I study are very distant. The early Roman Empire, the High Middle Ages, a lot of different time periods that were
compensating for something.
that are absolutely not, in almost any way, all that similar to the present world in which we live. So again, it's the novelty and difference of experience that I personally like about it. That and the what would you call it? Not the catharsis. Not catharsis. What's the opposite of catharsis? The aspirational quality of heroic high fantasy. That it's something to see and to aspire to, rather than something that is Let me get up. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't go diving in the River Thames or equivalent. There we go. Whoopsie! Anyway. Yeah, so, anyway, it's, it gives me something good and, I'll just leave it at good. Something good to aspire to. Now the other thing, the objective part.
Wow, you look great.
That looks nice.
Or you can't understand the world because it's alien to you and that upsets you. Well, good world building can smooth that over. So long as the world is internally consistent and decently well explained, I think that's fine. Which even something like this, something like Fable, does a good job at that, I think. It's largely internally consistent. Its inconsistencies are almost purely for comedy. And it's decently well explained. Going back to the first game, in that respect. Okay, that's actually a good point. Okay, so you can jump off a 60-foot cliff, take 6d6 damage. That's in 5th edition, by the way. Older editions, fall damage was much harsher and much more likely to kill you, at least early on. That said, you are not a high-level adventurer. I am not a high-level adventurer. I am what's called a commoner. I have 4 hit points. You know how I know that? If you successfully stabbed me with a knife, there's a good chance I would die from it. That is how I know that I have roughly 4 hit points. So if I fell from a 60-foot cliff, I would absolutely, unequivocally, without a doubt, die from it. If I fell from a 10-foot cliff, there is at least a chance that I would die from it, or at least be in critical condition. Right? I think that's the difference. It's just that character levels in Dungeons and Dragons, and this I think this I think goes for all editions. This isn't just a 5th edition thing, but player character levels in D&D makes you superhuman. Just absolutely superhuman. Like a 20th level fighter is the equivalent of a high-powered superhero in most, comic book settings. So, yeah, absolutely. Can I just jump in? Why can't I just dive in? You're gonna make me swim all the frickin' way around. I hate this. I'll do it, though. I'll do it. Yeah, almost everybody is a commoner because we live in a real, regular world. Like, a trained soldier might be a level 1 or 2 adventurer. Maybe. At most. At absolute most. Okay, there we go. But yeah, if you want a system that treats, you know, all human beings like that, like the fragile little creatures that we are, play GURPS or anything based on it. If you get shot with a gun in GURPS, it does not at all matter what level you are. There aren't levels, but you know how much experience you have, practically speaking. If you get shot with a gun, there's a good chance that you die. And if you got shot at with a gun, there's a very good chance you get hit with it and die. GURPS is very good about that sort of thing. The very grounded realism type of thing. Then again, I'm fine with it as a system if that's kind of what you're going for. Because you could still do interesting settings with it. I'm more talking about the settings than the mechanics, really, in the kind of fantasy I prefer. I'm fine with grounded mechanics. GURPS doesn't have mega damage. I'm not sure what you mean. I've only actually played it a couple of times, so I'm not sure.
Everything you need is right here in Understone. You never have to leave.
No wonder this place was such a bargain.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot in GURPS. Yeah, Erica's right. You don't. I mean, just like real life, you don't want to get shot with a gun. You know? You don't want to get shot with a gun. And in that respect, yeah, GURPS is quite realistic in that way.
Together, we will build a better future.
This is my first session. I got shot. The only part of my body that was out of cover were my feet. I hid behind a vehicle, and my foot was shot off. Yeah, that's GURPS, all right. There you go. Damage is damage, and it's a lot of times it's either permanent or really long term, and extremely debilitating, if not fatal. So, anyway, the other aspect though of the objective aspect to why I think that high fantasy is, in fact, better than the sort of grounded low fantasy. Let me write this down.
No wonder this place was such a bargain. It's haunted.
Is that as a sort of Platonist, heroic high fantasy, idealistic stories of grand heroism and heroic virtue, that sort of thing, are more realistic in one very important sense than sort of grounded, real-life kinds of stories. And I've explained this in a video about sort of comparing Batman and Superman as sort of token examples. But the point is that what I mean in this context by realistic is more closely instantiating the fundamental nature of reality, where being is coterminous with goodness. The more real something is, the better that it is, and the better something is, the more real that it is. And so if something is going to be fully realized, it's going to be perfectly good. Right? And so the same would apply to a character or a story or a hero or whatever.
Can you hear that voice? Of course you can. Everybody can hear it.
Loudspeaker,
it's
you
enough
idiot.
to drive a perfectly good worker insane. I used up all my savings to buy this factory, and all I'm left with is, well, an empty building.
Together, we will build a better future.
Alright,
A
fine,
voice
whatever.
that won't shut up. Oh, you don't know what a relief this is. I thought nobody would help me.
Oh, it's in the basement? Really? Okay. Anyway, that's the short version of the argument. This relies on a lot of metaphysical principles that are Platonic in their ultimate origin. Not exclusively. These are generally essentialist principles. Oh. Oh, it's a vault. It's a vault. Fascinating. Yeah. Okay, so for something to be... For something to exist, to say that something is what it is to say that it is a good instance of that thing. And to say that something is more real, or more really what it is, there we go. To say that something is good is to say that it successfully instantiates the kind of thing that it is. And so what that ultimately means is that for the world to be as realistic as possible is for the world to be really, really good. There's a theological aspect of this too, right? That God is being itself, and also goodness itself. That's probably good enough, right?
You must dedicate yourself to your work.
Biggest explosion.
Without toil, we will cease to exist. The survival of our species depends on you.
I am that I am, yes, is a straightforward statement of this. Right? God as ipsum esse, being itself. But this metaphysical principle goes further back than early Christianity.
Inside the compound, in the above world, there is only death and devastation.
The idea, of course, is really ultimately rooted in, like I said, in Platonism. And by rooted in, I don't mean it relies upon Platonist assumptions. I mean that Plato really first articulated this idea. It's the idea that right. So for something to be what it is, right, let me use an example. Right. This is a cup, right? It succeeds at what a cup does, right? If it had a hole in the bottom, it would not only be a worse. It would not only be a worse cup, right? It would be a bad example of a cup, but it would hardly be a cup anymore. You could hardly call it a cup because it fails to do what a cup does. Right? The same goes for anything. If something fails to do what it is meant to do, insofar as it fails, it not only fails to function, it fails to be the kind of thing that it is.
An intruder has been detected, possibly a mutant from the above world. Intruder, if you go any further, you will trigger the security system.
What does that even mean?
We cannot accept any responsibility for damages or death that may ensue if you continue on the path you are following.
Sandwich is a great example. It's one I've used before. When I use in class often. So picture a sandwich. Suppose you eat it. At what point is it no longer a sandwich? Certainly at some point, the thing is not a sandwich anymore. It stops being a sandwich when you eat it, or maybe when you eat part of it. No. Perhaps it never was a sandwich. Well, I mean, if you're a nominalist, I suppose, if you don't think sandwiches exist, there is an argument to be made there. I think that it's incorrect. You can make that. Really? Missed him? I didn't miss him. Alright, anyway. Do I think there's a tree? Depends. Is it... Which tree do you mean?
These words now, in case I never make it back. That voice. It must be Montague Humes, the millionaire inventor who bought the Bowerstone Cave Network all those years ago. My employer said finding Humes' treasures wouldn't be dangerous, but... I don't know. Maybe I should turn back now.
What about a tree? Yeah, a tree is actually quite a good example.
I write these words now in case I never make it back.
Because a tree is a living thing, it very clearly does exist.
Montague Humes, a millionaire inventor who bought the Bowerstone Cave Network. My employer said finding Humes' treasures wouldn't be dangerous, but... Ow. Maybe I should turn back now.
Turn back or die. You are not welcome here.
Right, so a tree, for example, take a tree that dies. Right, this is another example I've used in a video before. Maybe even in class. I'm trying to remember if I used this in class. I've mentioned it in class at the very least. But suppose a tree dies, right? At some point, it is not a tree anymore. Oh no. It's just a piece of wood. Ink blot makeup, interesting. Slow time potion. Okay. Also interesting. Okay. I did not get to your question, Imsim. So I'll get to this right now then, and I'll come back to the tree question. I thought another way to add elven-like creatures into my world. They won't be immortal, but they will have pointy ears. Okay. You recall the shadow people, humans who worship the primordial serpents. Though their flesh became hues of pitch black, dark grayish blue, and maybe even hues of violet. Their eyes are red, hair jet black or ivory, ears pointed. Some of those shadow people are purified and become a noble race of men who are elven in appearance, but have another name. Okay, I mean, that could work. I'm not a huge fan of it, just because I like my elves to be very, very immortal. Fundamentally different from humans. I prefer my elves to be. If you want to do it as folklore, you can do elves as being what's it called? They'd be like fairy creatures. Right? Lungavi is the medieval term. Already am. A pit? I'm probably gonna have to call it after this quest. It's already 11 o'clock, so.
Whoever you are, be warned. Further ingress into this area will trigger a most deadly defense response.
Oh god, I attracted more of them. That's not good. Yeah, we don't want to proc multiple rounds of enemies at the same time. How about low elves or corrupted elves? Still not as big a fan. In fantasy, that's more the place for men, frankly. There we go. Again, I'm just talking about my preferences here, though. Don't take this as necessarily like writing or world building advice. I do think that what you got there does totally work. I guess call it a trope of the purified impure, if you want to think of it that way. I think that's a good one. And that's a good way of basically having it be something like elves. These things. There's so many of the bastards. Okay. Now we're moving on.
You cannot be allowed to continue. Your death is imminent.
Anyway, so while I got you here, Imsip, the other big discourse that I've been finding, especially on the Twitter, is the whole are Mormons Christians debate has been raging once again. This time the U.S. Department of Defense has weighed in to at least initially say no, which is correct. I mean, like, strictly speaking, that is right. Now, my primary reason for well, two things. My primary reason for arguing that Mormons are not Christian is because their view of God is incorrect.
Welcome back to Understone, citizen. Return to your dwelling at once.
Are they all?
There's an intruder on the loose.
I'm sorry, what in the world? The grave, they have plants growing on the graves. That's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, no. I certainly don't think that Mormons would qualify properly as Christians. Hey guys. What in the world? Okay, guys, come on. Hey, look. Yeah, it's a vault, all right.
Stay inside the compound. In the above world, there is only death and devastation.
It's very vault tech. Come on, weird floating pupper doggo. Okay, so my primary argument against the Mormon claims that they are in fact Christian is that the simplest objection is that they reject the Christian creeds, and specifically they reject core doctrines of the creeds, most notably the doctrine of the Trinity. First of all, so they're non-Trinitarians. They don't think that Christ is God. They think that he is a god, which brings up the other major problem, which is this idea that God is not God, but a god. Their theology is so far removed from Christian theology that they cannot be, I think, rightly considered Christians. And I think there's a strong argument to be made that they are, they're not even theists, or at least monotheists, in the proper sense. Right.
To survive, you must dedicate yourself to your world.
The reason being, of course, they think of God as a finite being, a being that came into being, and is not eternal, is not all powerful, is not the creator of all things. It does not contain or does not possess, I guess you might say, any of the classical divine attributes. Yeah, talking about Mormons, himself. How you can tell this, right? The main way that I would sort of contribute to this is that the classical arguments for God's existence, right? Say Aquinas' 5 ways and whatnot. All of these classical arguments, whether that's Aquinas' 5 ways, whether the transcendental arguments, whether the ontological argument, anything like this. These arguments can effectively be employed against Mormonism. So if I can argue for God's existence in a strictly abstract and philosophical way, and that qualifies as an argument against Mormon theology, I don't think they believe in God. I don't think Mormons believe in God. I think they believe in gods, lowercase g, but they don't believe in God. So that is, I think, the best example, right? So if I were to make, say, the ontological argument, if I were to argue that there must be some being which is maximal perfection itself, that than which no greater can be conceived, the Mormons would disagree with that. They would say there is no such being. That does not exist. And if that's how we characterize God, which is how Christians have always done so, if they would say that God, qua that than which no greater can be conceived, does not exist, Mormons argue God does not exist. Is the grace and promise of Christ good enough? If you accept Christ as he in fact is, they do not. They accept a sort of counterfeit Christ as a created being, in a similar way that Jehovah's Witnesses do as well.
Excuse them. They think you're a monster. Poor ignorant folk. They don't know any better. They were born and raised here, underground. Never seen an outsider before, you see? So all they know is what Montague tells them.
Okay.
He's in charge round here, always has been. Though he's a real recluse, he lives in that house on the hill, watching us and sending his orders through talking tubes. You must have heard his voice, right?
Citizens, stay in your homes until the crisis has passed.
No thanks asks, do they think Christ is the Son of God and that his promise can be trusted? They only think that Christ is the Son of God in the same sense that they think that you or I or Satan are sons of God.
Let him know we are not a monster.
Christ, nor even Heavenly Father, are ontologically distinct from man. Now, this might be a question for Impsimp, because I've at this point now gotten conflicting reports of this. Do Mormons worship Jesus, or do they not? Because I've heard from some of them that they are commanded to worship Heavenly Father alone and not the Savior. That they are not to worship the Savior. But hey, nice. They let me in. That's surprising.
Hard work is the key to happiness.
Hi guys. Sorry for breaking in. He's walking in.
Elevator leads to his house, although it don't get used very often.
Never mind. No, they do not. You can send proof from their leaders. They believe in his divinity. Wait, no, they do not worship? They do not worship? Wait, explain this concisely. Do they worship Jesus or do they not? Because again, I've gotten conflicting reports here. I just had somebody tell me, in quoting the book of Nephi. That's not... Okay. Quoting the book of Nephi, that they are to worship Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Or Son of the Father. Or Son of the... something. It's in the book of Nephi. But he quoted it saying, which seemed to indicate that we are to worship, or they, I suppose, are to worship Jesus. But I didn't think they were supposed to do that. I've heard elsewhere that they're not. Yimsim says they do not worship Jesus. Okay. They worship the Father in the name of Jesus. Yep, okay. That's what I thought. Is this... what's it called? The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Sweeney Todd. This looks like a Sweeney Todd reference. Book of Mormon preaches modalism. Yes, I know that. Some versions of it. Yeah, the dog has been glitching out tonight after that one quest. I don't know why. I'm hoping it'll get fixed. I save and quit and reload. I really hope it'll get fixed. MSIM says their own book contradicts their modern Utah beliefs. The Trinitarian Mormons, aka RLDS, Community of Christ, do because Joseph Smith's son transitioned to sect of the cult into a Trinitarian sect. Interesting. Yeah, the game's from 2010. There's going to be glitches. What in the world? A veil with a dog cage behind it is... I don't know, that's something weird about that. Not even a curtain, it's legit, it's a veil.
Remember, citizens, stay inside the compound. In the above world, there is only death and devastation.
The elevator leads to his house, although it don't get used very often.
Oh, hey, that opened. Maybe this is it. Is this gonna take me out? It's gonna take me out, isn't it? Or is it further in? Oh no, further in, I think. The deep bowels of this place. Even better. Great, wonderful. With inward-facing, spiked wrought iron fences. That's always ominous.
Warning! The first line of the Understone defense system has been activated. Advance at your own risk.
No. No, you. Ooh, that was close. I'm not sure what you mean, do I write prayers with the breath of the Lord? Are you referring to the Spirit? The third person of the Trinity? Look, another combat arena.
Now, the third line of the Understone defense system has been activated. You will be torn limb from limb.
Do I ever pray just to the third person? Yes. Yeah. Probably not as often or as commonly as to the Father or to the Son. But yeah. Wait, you don't pray to Jesus? That's very strange to me. But certainly atypical for Christianity, broadly speaking. Was it this way? Right? I think.
Maximum alert. The last line of the Understone defense system has been activated. Death is inevitable.
Yeah, that's extremely strange in terms of the I think any real part of the Christian tradition that I'm aware of. I don't know of any denominations that don't pray to the Son. Except maybe, I guess, maybe Jehovah's Witnesses, but again, I don't think that they qualify as Christian. Because they don't think that, they think that Jesus is a created being, not God. Yeah, pray to the Son. Oh Lord Jesus. And any prayer starting therewith. What do you mean, one of the other, like, another denomination that prays to Jesus directly? Baptists? Lutherans, Calvinists, of pretty much all stripes of Calvinists that I'm aware of pray to Jesus.
You leave me no alternative, mutant.
Like, I can't think of any counterexamples, frankly.
Deploy the colony.
No, to be fair, there are probably plenty of Christians who never quite, like, think to pray to the Holy Spirit directly and exclusively. Ow. What's that do? I've never used that before. Maybe I should more. But nice. Yeah, I also pray very often common with my guardian angel. There we go, got him. Do you feel like it's Mary, it's intercession? Yeah, I mean, praying to your guardian angel is for intercession. That's not worship. No, you don't pray for Jesus. You don't pray to Jesus for intercession. For intercession to whom? To Jesus. We pray to the saints and the angels, the saints, including the angels, to intercede on our behalf before our Lord Jesus Christ, not necessarily just the Father. Yeah, I gotta say, this is very strange. I'm not sure what faith tradition is this?
I don't know who you are, stranger.
What faith tradition are you in or from?
Montague Humes, must be dead.
Oh. Yeah, clearly.
You have proven yourself to be a most capable individual. I believe you can do what I no longer can. Take charge of Understone and its citizens. This machine can be adjusted to play any messages you wish, and the citizens below have been conditioned to obey them. If, by some miracle, the above world recovers from the devastation, the machine can be shut down from within this room. Doing so will open a passage to the above world, and the citizens will be free to return to the sunlight.
So,
This is what the old loon was up to. Oh, this is my lucky day! Oh, hello again, friend. Look, forgive me for not being completely honest before, but I had no idea there would be a whole city down here. I expected treasures, inventions, but not this! Think of the business opportunities! A whole town devoted to work, doing whatever you tell them, never questioning you, never demanding payment.
Well,
leave the machine running, and we can share the profits.
Profoundly
we'll be
evil,
rolling
really.
in gold without having to lift a finger. What do you
Chase
say?
passive income, bro.
You're...
Hebrew rootsy, I guess, but I still am super curious as to where this, sort of how you got to this point.
Is it really true?
Because it's very strange. Just, you know, historically speaking.
After all this time, we can leave Understone. Just think, we'll be able to see the stars for the first time ever.
Our time of hardship is over. Return to the surface. Return to the sky.
It is Vault Tech, isn't it? It's even got the... Oh my god.
I never thought I'd live to see this day, to see sunlight.
Thanks to your actions, the citizens of the underground town have been freed. Bowerstone is buzzing with talk of this unique and exciting neighborhood. It won't last long before tourists visit in droves. Alright. Neat! This is quite cool, actually. But I'm going to call it a night there, because it's like 11:30 and I gotta get to bed. So. Yeah. Let's do a save room kind of thing, shall we? Oh, autosave, yeah, okay. Let's just autosave.
Any other business to attend to?
Alright. Quick save. Alright. So, thank you guys for joining me. That was fun. Got to talk a little bit about the USS Liberty at the beginning. That was always a good time. We got to talk about Mormonism, got to talk about some other things. So, thanks for joining me. I've got to get going. I'm going to get to bed. Join me again on Wednesday or Friday. We'll see for some more Greedfall 2. And then stay tuned this weekend. I'm hoping to have my the next episode of my stupid little podcast out, and it's going to be covering Oglio's most recent encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas. So, look out for all that stuff coming up, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.